Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the United Gateway credit card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock and a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the United Gateway credit card. First off, we are going to be discussing miles and how you can earn them with this credit card. So starting out, you will be earning 7 miles per dollar spent on United flights. That's going to be 5 miles per dollar spent on fare from United as a Mileage Plus member, plus 2 miles on the entire United purchase with this credit card. Then you'll be earning 3 miles per dollar spent on hotel stays booked through United Hotels. That's going to be 2 miles from United as a Mileage Plus member, plus 1 mile earned with this credit card. Then you're going to be earning 2 miles per dollar spent on United purchases, 2 miles per dollar spent on local transit and commuting, including ride-share services, taxi cabs, train tickets, tolls, and mass transit. And then finally, on all other transactions outside of those categories across the board, you will be earning 1 mile per dollar spent. Now with this card, you can also earn a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 3 months of having this card, you will be receiving a spend bonus of 30,000 bonus miles. So all in all, that is pretty solid. Plus, you can actually earn even more than that. So if you do add an authorized user within the first 3 months of having this card, you can earn an additional 5,000 bonus miles. So in total, that will take you to 35,000 bonus miles potentially within the first 3 months of owning this card. Then on top of that, you can also receive some other benefits with this card as well. So just for instance, you will be receiving a 0% introductory APR on your purchases for the first 12 months. So potentially if you have a lot of larger transactions coming up and you don't necessarily have the money set aside right now to pay them down right away, you can put that transaction on this card, and for the first 12 months you will have a 0% interest rate with it, which will give you 12 months to pay your card down over that time. However, you'll definitely want to make sure that card is paid off. The full balance is paid off before the 12 months are up, because after the 12 months are up, your APR is then going to shoot right back up, which we will cover in just a few minutes. Then on top of your 0% interest rate for the first 12 months on your purchases with this credit card, you're also going to be receiving 25% back as a statement credit on purchases of food, beverages, and Wi-Fi on board of United operated flights and on club premium drinks as long as you use this credit card. You're also going to be receiving auto rental collision damage waiver. The coverage for this is going to be secondary though. On top of that, you're also going to be receiving trip cancellation and interruption insurance. So with this, you can be reimbursed up to $1,500 per person and $6,000 per trip for your prepaid non-refundable passenger fares if your trip is canceled or cut short by sickness, severe weather, and other covered situations. Additionally, you're also going to be receiving purchase protection. So with this, it's going to cover new purchases for 120 days against damage or theft, up to $500 per claim and $50,000 per account. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving extended warranty protection as well. So with this, it's going to extend the time period of the U.S. manufacturer's warranty by 1 additional year on eligible warranties of 3 years or less. And then on top of that, there's also going to be some partner benefits through DoorDash with this credit card as well. It's going to give you the Dash Pass. So with the Dash Pass, what that's going to do is going to be 1 year Dash Pass, and this is basically a membership that provides unlimited deliveries with $0 delivery fees and lower service fees on eligible orders. So now that we went over the main features of this card at this point in time, we are going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees. And of course, that's also super important to know about as well. So starting out, your purchase interest rate, just like we mentioned a moment ago, is going to be 0% starting out for the first 12 months. However, if you build up a large balance, and then you'll definitely want to make sure that is paid off before the 12 months in, because after the 12 months in, at that point in time, your interest rate is going to shoot up to anywhere between 21.99 to 28.99% based on your credit worthiness. So you'll definitely want to make sure that your balance is paid down to zero. That way you're not paying a lot of interest on whatever balance you have accumulated. Then as far as balance transfers go, on this card, starting out, it's probably not going to make too much sense to do a balance transfer, because unlike your purchases, you're not going to be receiving a 0% introductory APR on your balance transfers. Unfortunately, with those starting out, it is going to be anywhere between 21.99 to 28.99% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them, you have a very high interest rate, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that your APR on them is going to be a whopping 29.99%. Plus, unfortunately, a lot of fees as well, which we are going to go ahead and dive into right now. So as far as the fees go, starting out on your cash advances, with each cash advance, there is going to be a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as balance transfers go, even though starting out it's probably not going to make too much sense to do a balance transfer, but later down the line, if they do offer you like a 0% interest rate as some type of promotion for like 12, 15, or 18 months, and you decide to take advantage of that promotion, then in that point in time, it's still not going to be completely free though, because you are going to have to pay a fee on the balance transfer. That fee on each balance transfer is going to be $5 or 5% of the amount of each balance transfer, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as foreign transaction fees go with this card, there are no foreign transaction fees. So if you do happen to travel abroad, this is a card you can definitely take with you and use, and you will not be charged anything extra by the card for doing so. Then on top of that, there is going to be a late or return payment fee though of up to $40. Now, if you happen to pay late for the first time, maybe even the second time, you could always try calling in to see if they will waive that fee, if they can do it as like a first or second time convenience. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. It just really kind of depends on the credit card company and their policies at that point in time. But what you might actually want to do is maybe set up auto pay or mark your calendar. Do whatever works best for you. Just make sure that you are trying to avoid paying late. That way you can just avoid paying a late payment fee, once again up to $40. And then finally, with this credit card, there are no annual fees. So it is a card you can keep on a year-to-year basis, and you don't have to sit around and evaluate whether or not paying a certain amount of money for this card would be worthwhile, because with this card, once again, there are no annual fees. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go over what I would consider to be the best things about this credit card and the worst things about this credit card. So we're going to start out with the positives. So the first good thing, of course, is the fact that you can earn 30,000 bonus miles. Once again, if you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 3 months. And then on top of that, you can also earn 5,000 miles. On top of that, if you're able to add an authorized user within the first 3 months of having this credit card open. Then on top of that, you're also going to have a 0% interest rate for the first 12 months of opening this card. So it's definitely a pretty good positive as well. Then you're also going to be receiving 7 miles per dollar spent on United flights. So that's a pretty good benefit. You're also not going to have any annual fees. And finally, you're also not going to have any foreign transaction fees either. So those are the good things about this card. Now, as far as the drawbacks go, the first drawback, of course, is the fact that you're not going to be receiving like any extra perks with this credit card. You're not getting like a global entry or TSA pre-check credit. You're not getting like any credits. You're not getting lounge access or anything like that. So it's not like a big frills credit card. You're also only going to be getting 1 mile per dollar spent on all transactions outside of transit and United Airlines. So you're not going to be getting many miles. It's not going to make a lot of sense to use this credit card on transactions outside of United and maybe even transit. And then also with this card, there's limited flexibility with your rewards. Obviously, you can only use them with United Airlines. So in your case, it may not make a whole lot of sense. If you don't normally fly with United, then this credit card may not make the most sense for you. But to sum things up here, all in all, for the first year with that spend bonus, it could be a pretty good credit card for you. And obviously, if you fly with United pretty frequently, it could be a good credit card starting out. If you fly with them a lot, some of the more premium credit cards with United could make more sense, but all in all, certainly not the best credit card, certainly not the worst credit card. Ultimately, that decision is going to be up to you, but that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.